Well, it seems the conversation now turns Rushward with the release of some fabulous new vinyl. Anyway, let's discuss it, shall we? Welcome, classic rock fans, to an unboxing, or unwrapping if you will. If you're new to this channel, please do click like, subscribe, check that notification bell, especially if you're a fan of the unboxing of stuff prior to its official release. And check some of the links below this video for ways you can support the sterling work done at Classic Album Review. It's always much appreciated. Well, that's that said. Well, Rhino's Start Your Ear Off Right campaign continues with the release of some great albums, and they're turning their attention to Rush at the end of this month, about the 31st of January, with the release of Roll the Bones and Counterparts on vinyl, special limited edition vinyl at that. I will try and locate purchasing links, which you will find just below this video. The first one I want to talk about is this one, Roll the Bones, an album that's much maligned by a lot of the Rush faithful. This was the 14th studio album. It follows Presto. Now, Presto was kind of a return to that guitar-driven sound, and Roll the Bones continues that. And I love the idea of this one, where the theme of chance is pursued on this record. I like this record. I like a lot of the later Rush albums. I'm perhaps not supposed to, but I find there tends to be this attitude with classic rock fans, and that old good, new not so good. Then I think my love of Rush is probably a bit skewed, really. I think their finest work is that 4-album run from Permanent Waves, Moving Pictures, Signals and Grace Under Pressure. Finest work in my opinion, which I think tops a lot of the stuff they did in the 70s, but then hey, I'm probably in the minority. Anyway, I digress. Roll the Bones had some commercial success. I think it got to number 3 in the United States, number 10 in the UK, number 11 on their home turf of Canada. This album does display a change, a desire to move towards a more guitar-driven sound. This change was described by Geddy Lee as a backlash against the more computerized style of writing. The band now chose to use sequencers and synthesizers as a kind of orchestration rather than providing the foundations for the album they wanted to make. Roll the Bones 1991 album remastered. I don't think there's anything particularly special about it, just that it's a remastered pressing on vinyl. Anyway, enough of this waffle. Let's get the cellophane off this and take a look at it, shall we? So here's the whole thing with the wrapping taken off it. Nice reproduction of the original sleeve. That's the rear and the inner. And the vinyl is as such. As I said, I rather enjoy this album. I know I'm probably in the minority, but I quite like some of the later Rush albums. The later Rush albums I'm not so keen on are the albums they did, I think, after Grace Under Pressure. I think there was that album, Big Money. Was it Big Money? Power Windows. No, it wasn't Big Money, that was a track. Power Windows and Hold Your Fire, 2 albums that I struggle to get on with, although having some great tracks. I think it's often the sound of these albums, that 1980s production, that I don't like. Also, there's another one, I think there was Test for Echo is another album that I'm not so keen on. Anyway, let's turn our attention to the next one, which is this one, which is the wrong way round, which is Counterparts. I love this album. It's got a nice grungy feel to it, a real heavy guitar sound. I often have issues with Rush and generally have a lot of their albums sound. I always listen to them and think, gee, that could sound better. And I think these guys strike me as kind of real musicos. Surely they must sign off on this stuff. But this sounds great in my opinion. I just love it. Maybe it's just the way my ears work. And this, of course, is the 15th studio album by this band. It continues very much in the vein from Presto, from Roll the Bones, with that very guitar-driven sound. And some of the topics explored, you'll have to excuse the whir of the washing machine out there. There's probably quite a thematic leitmotif in Rush, isn't it? These washing machines going around. Anyway, do excuse that noise if the microphone picks it up. But what's interesting is this album explores sort of dualities, or at least things that I think complement each other, like gender, looks at the nature of heroism, good, bad, and Carl Jung is a huge influence on this, or the writings of. Anyway, enough of this flannel. Let's take a look, shall we? So this is the item. Nice thick card, beautiful reproduction of the artwork. It really is incredibly vibrant and it pops, I think is the word they use, isn't it? There's the rear. And I think this comes with a fourth side of the vinyl, sort of, it's a limited edition and it's etched, which might be quite interesting. Here's an insert you get with this album. Polyline sleeves, we like those. This is side 1, side 2, and the side 3 and 4 are the special ones, I think. Give me a moment. Again, a nice polyline sleeve. Side 3, and this is side 4, the etched side. Isn't that great? Can you see that? These are strictly limited edition. How limited, I don't know, but that is nice. So that's the item itself. I'm building up quite a nice vinyl collection by default. I get this stuff sent to me by publicists to basically show you. People say, oh, it must be great getting stuff for free. I always point out, well, it's not really free. These people are sending me these items to purchase some time on this platform. A platform that's taken me over 10 years to build up, by the way. That's kind of what they're doing. In the same way they would send things to people at magazines and newspapers to kind of purchase some column inches where the journalist talks about their item or their album. It's the same thing, really. Unfortunately, I can't tell you anything about the way this sounds, as I do not yet have a vinyl player. But I will say it made a nice rustling sound as I took it out the sleeve. I don't know if that will help you along at all. Anyway, there you go. So that's Rush Counterparts, a fine, fine album. I'm going to leave it there anyway, because you've probably got bored of my waffle. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do all the stuff I said at the beginning. Click like, subscribe, check that notification bell. Share this video, share the love. And I'll leave you with my closing salvo, which is hope you're well, staying safe, and of course that you keep listening.